hovered above us like birds in the sky, not knowing quite where to land. See, where I grew up, poverty never attended the meetings, never sat in any panels, it never signed any agreements, and odd, since somehow it always got the final vote, the most important guest at any party. Poverty never left the conversation, the inheritance nobody wanted. We buried our grandparents, then buried their dreams and ours too, and finally we buried time. Time that seemed to have resigned itself to a slow, excruciating crawl, and yet every day poverty sat across from us, asking what was left to take. People often say apartheid ended, and it's true enough that it did. Laws died, science came down, the anthem roared a new tune. But see, some wounds run deeper than legislation. They live in the geography of a place, in the crevices of cities and towns, in the designing of school districts, and how things change from black versus white to government versus private. It's the little things you see. Legacy thrives behind nuance and postal codes and transport routes, in whose dreams come freely and whose poverty demands tax from first. See, the struggle adapted, the language of war changed, and now, please, don't misunderstand me. This is not a poem on despair and its tendency to suffocate, because somewhere along the line, something did change really. A decision made that true investment could mean more than maximizing profit. That business, good and true, could start to see real, everyday people like me and my friends of 76 children who studied by candlelight, whose potential was greater than the vice grip of circumstance. Children not in need of saving, but simply opportunity. Opportunity that said go, that opened doors, a scholarship, a skills program, a remodeled classroom, a chance. It's the little things you see. Today, they call it CSI. 3 simple letters. Corporate social investment. The truth is, it's not that simple though. CSI shouldn't just be 3 little letters. It is the gap between surviving